Vedas, as much as being Indian, they are not Hindu literatures, friends. They are based on a faith system that prevailed in India before Kush, the son of the biblical Ham, invaded India around 2900 BC. The major event prior to that was the flood of Noah, which is known as Mahajalapralaya of Manu in India, which occurred in the year 3298 BC. Soon afterwards, India was ruled by Noah's son Shem. He was the King Bharat of India. He worshipped his father Noah's god Yahweh in the form of Narayana. Now, one should not confuse this Narayana with Vishnu because Vishnu was not even born then. Furthermore, Narayana and Vishnu are two different characters which you can see from this passage from the Hindu holy book Padma Purana. So, as I said, if Vedas belong to a period when Yahweh was worshipped as Narayana in India, then who are Indra, Varna, Soma, Agni, Vayu, and all the other gods we come across in the Vedas? Well, this story is very complex, friends, with many twists and turns and cover-ups. To start with, even when Shem, the King Bharat, came to India from the Armenian region where Noah's Ark had landed, his men were a bunch of Soma addicts, a habit which they had picked up on their way to India. By the way, Soma is the juice of an intoxicating plant found near the northwestern parts of Afghanistan and beyond. Then, after arriving in India, Shem formed a coalition government with a group of people called the Purus, who were promiscuous. Yes, that is the last thing we need for a stable government. A bunch of alcoholics and some promiscuous women. I'm not making this up, friends. These Purus were Japhetic people who were the descendants of Noah's third son, Japheth. They had come from the Arctic region and they were promiscuous. It clearly states in Adi Parva section of Mahabharata that the free love among the people of Uttarakuru, like the one followed by the birds and the beasts, was not sinful as it had the approval of the rishis and the sanction of antiquity. By the way, Uttarakuru is Siberia. Maybe they were huddling up together for warmth in the cold Arctic, which led to this practice. We don't know for sure, but that's what they were. That is how we come across well-respected character like Kunti, the mother of Pandavas, having 5 sons through 5 different entities in the famous epic Mahabharata. It was accepted in a society. Coming back to our story, consumption of Soma and the promiscuous women were a challenge to King Bharat's kingdom early on. Take a look at the depictions of Noah sacrificing to God and the sons of Shem conducting their version of sacrifice called Yagna. Noah's sacrifice was a solemn one. Noah is standing and his family members are kneeling down praising God. Whereas in the Indian sacrifice, the priests are seated on the floor, not displaying the same reverence to the altar of sacrifice. The Iranian literature suggests that it is because they are drunk with Soma so bad that they cannot function. Their holy book Vendidad depicts the sons of Shem, known as Devas, as the ones who steal cattle, drunkards, gluttonous, and the one who misbehave with women. It goes on to the level of accusing them of peeing on themselves because they were unable to move due to their excessive drinking and eating. Now, a few words about Shem himself. He loved his father's God with all his heart, and he was completely lost in him, calling out to him Narayana anywhere at any time of the day. Do you know that he is still doing it in Hindi movies and TV serials? Yes, the invading Kushites turned Shem the King Bharat into a clown in their stories who goes around greeting everyone with a Narayana. But unfortunately, the Indians don't know his true identity. This character is the King Bharat, friends. By the way, if the truth be told, it was not Shem's idea to establish a kingdom for himself. It was Noah who wanted his favorite son Shem also to own a land like his other two sons. Noah is called Sranjaya and Shem as Divodasa in the Vedas, and one can see Sranjaya the Noah being with Shem in the beginning of his kingdom at the Haripia battle scene. So, in spite of Shem being a righteous man, the kingdom was not doing well. At this point, Kush, the son of Ham, and his men occupied parts of India and started ruling ancient India. However, these people hated Noah's god Yahweh, known as Narayana in India, because Noah cursed Kush's father Ham, as we read in the Bible. These invaders worshipped their ancestors and many aquatic deities from Lucifer's abyss and were well versed in magic. Even though Hindu gods Rama and Krishna were among them, there was a particular character named Vishwamitra, a great magician who went after King Bharat, also known as Raja Harishchandra by another one of Shem's titles, and finished up his kingdom. Indians are very familiar with this story. When silent movies first came to India, the very first movie made in India was Raja Harishchandra. Please watch my video, Who Burned Kamadeva, for more details surrounding this event. Now, while you won't find Rama in Vedas, you will find Vishwamitra, who interacted with Rama in Ramayana, figuring prominent in the Vedas. This exposes the Hindu claim that Rama lived tens of thousands of years ago in a different yuga than that of Krishna and Vishwamitra's time. And finally, when the Vedic writings, which were written down 2000 years later, the scribes incorporated the diametrically opposite customs of their invaders and their gods into the Vedic script. These are the ones who inserted things such as worshipping Indra and forces of nature such as Surya, the sun, into Vedas. One more thing to add here. In spite of all they have done to the original Vedas, if you notice, Hindus today are not worshipping any of those Vedic gods anymore. They believe in many things which the Vedas did not promote, such as ancestral worship, idols, avatars, yugas, chiranjeevis, and reincarnations. This is why Hinduism is different than the Vedas, friends. Furthermore, do you know that primarily there were only 3 Vedas? Later, they added the 4th one called the Atharva Veda, which is the handbook of black magic and spells, originally authored by Ham himself. However, this messed up compilation known as Vedas today still contains some shadows of ultimate truth transmitted through Shem's praises during his sacrifices, which are found in Samaveda, which is named after Shem. That is why Vedas talk about the nature of sin, the need for sacrifices, and contain prophecies about God himself offering his body as a sacrifice for his people. It also contains a lot of prophecies about Jesus. The Vedas call Jesus Prajapati, Narayana, Yeshu, Nishkalanga Purusha, Meshabala Bhagwan, and all that. I hope, as a listener, you understand what I am presenting here. But the bigger picture above all this is that we are all sinners and we could not make it back to God. But God in His mercy sacrificed His Son Jesus, the Prajapati of Samaveda, and the Narayana to take us back into His fold. Today, if we admit we are sinners and accept His sacrifice on the cross, we are freely given eternal life and we become the citizens of God's kingdom. That is good news, friends. Thanks for watching.